this is your document that's going to help everybody understand like what their rights are. Yeah, good job so far.
Thank you.
All right, how's it going over here?
Good.
All right, what do you have?
We have school breakfast and lunch free to all students.
Okay.
Fairly treated dress codes.
Okay.
Available loans to people in need. The right to be treated fairly and the freedom of speech.
Okay. So what's the dress code issue? Is that like you just want the rules to be applied fairly across the board?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So is your government imposing a dress code?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what are the requirements of the dress code?
Just like normal school dress codes, just like they need to be fair though.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give you guys your scenarios here in just a minute, okay? So stay tuned. All right. What do you guys have so far?
We have freedom of speech.
Thou shalt not kill unless
Why'd you write Christianity?
doesn't matter.
Freedom of religion,
Oh, that's what I meant to say.
enforce laws, the right to work, freedom from poverty, no harmful weapons, no cruel, unusual punishment.
Punishment must fit the crime.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, I'm hoping that your Constitution will protect your person from whatever the scenario is.
I hope so.
Well, you'll see. You're about to find out.
Well,
Well, I mean, I'm thinking of some of the scenarios. It definitely would.
Okay.
So you've done a good job.
But we don't have all of them?
Well, you'll get one specific one, and then it will just test your Constitution, but in one specific scenario. But the scenario might have lots of constitutional issues in it. So it just kind of depends on which one you get. So, okay, if everybody wants to just kind of wrap up your discussion in the next minute or so. Okay, is everybody ready to get your scenario? You're going to get your scenarios, and you're going to discuss them as a group, and I want you to read through it, and then look at your Constitution that you've developed, and figure out whether or not your Constitution has done what it was supposed to do and protected the person's rights. And then we're going to come back together as a large group, and we'll go over the scenarios together, and you all can kind of discuss how it went, and we'll also talk about our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, and how our Bill of Rights would kind of function in the scenario that you get and that you're going to be talking about. Now, the only thing is we might have to share, depending on how many groups we ended up having, you might have to share your scenarios, so just stay tuned on that, and I will help you facilitate that once we get going. So good luck, and I hope your Constitutions work. And then if you guys will share this one with them when you're done. These guys are going to share so it's short, they're going to read it and then share it with you. There you go. If you guys can share this scenario with him once you're done reading it, because it's short, if you'll run that over. They're going to share their scenario with this table as soon as they're done. Okay, here you go, guys. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Let's see here. Here's your scenario, ladies. Here's this. Yeah. How many groups do we have? You're all one group, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Here you go. So you guys are going to share this scenario. Okay. I actually ended up having plenty of extras. This group's a little smaller, so. Okay. And are you guys done reading this? Can I? Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
They're not going to be able to read that.
So how did your Constitution shape up here? Okay. Oh, you got the Terminators scenario. So, yeah, the question is, did your Constitution have anything about, like, requiring probable cause before somebody's arrested? Requiring that you be informed of, like, the charges that have been filed against you, requiring that you be subject to bail if you're arrested. So that one had a lot in it. Yeah. Okay, guys, how did it go? How did your Constitution do with your scenario?
It did pretty good.
Okay, great.
It went with Todd. He got protected from able to have a fair trial.
Yeah.
Fair trial is meaning that he'd have to go to trial.
Yep.
And
Yeah, the police sergeant doesn't get to decide whether he's guilty. He has to have a trial. And he also, so did you have anything about what types of punishments people can receive?
not really.
So that's what.
God.
No, that's okay, because that's the whole point of the exercise, is to kind of think about. So in our Constitution, we have a prohibition on cruel and unusual punishment, and this would very much violate the United States Constitution. This scenario, yeah, it would be, cutting off somebody's index finger for that type of offense would not be acceptable constitutionally in the United States.
Costs about $1.
Yeah.
A few cents.
Yeah. It's not proportional to the crime, that punishment. Yeah. So it'd be a little bit different, with our Constitution. Well, good job, guys. Okay, guys, how did it go?
Good.
Wait, you have the rights to know your rights and the right to attorney. You know you have the right to know your rights. With that, they have to tell you why they are arresting you.
Yeah, they got to tell you what you've been charged with.
We can help her with right to attorney and the right to know your rights.
And we have no cruel and unusual punishment. She doesn't know what she did, so they can't punish her for doing nothing.
Very good.
And it's just suspect.
Yeah. And so in the United States Constitution, the arrest needs to be supported by probable cause.
Yeah.
And here we just kind of have a Terminator computer robot. He just suspects, and we don't even know what that means. What it means for a robot to suspect you of doing something. That's kind of a.
They probably use facial scan and see.
An AI now, right? Yeah. This used to be a more far-fetched scenario, but nowadays it's seems less and less far-fetched with AI and some of the facial recognition. Some of that facial recognition doesn't work as well with certain groups, and so that can be problematic too. That's interesting. Good job, guys.
And no one can own guns.
Okay, how did you guys do?
The very first thing we wrote down countered the situation's problem.
Well, I did not give that to you on purpose, but I am glad that it probably made you think. Okay, so you were great. Yeah, you addressed it. What about, so this involves a newspaper. Did you have anything that protected the press? Protected a newspaper specifically? Yeah, freedom of speech
was the only thing we had to protect.
Yeah, which I think freedom of speech would go a long way to do that. Our Constitution also, though, it has a separate provision specifically for the press. So it's really a special protection. So good job, guys, getting that done. Okay, guys, let's regroup as a large group. And we're going to share our scenarios and kind of share about how our Constitution's held up. So let's start with this group. You guys had situation number 2, which probably somebody else had that also. So if you had situation number 2, listen up, and we'll hear from both groups that had number 2. So read us situation number 2 so everybody in the group knows what we're talking about here. And I'll hold the microphone for you.
The founders of the space colony have manufactured an army of robots called Terminators to enforce the laws. The Terminators are programmed to seize any citizen suspected of committing a crime and to take them to jail. Alice was shopping at the local Astro Mart when she is suddenly seized by a Terminator and taken to jail. She has no idea what she is accused of or what she can do to be released from jail.
Okay, so Alice has run into a Terminator. Did your constitution protect Alice from the Terminators? And if so, how?
Oh, me? Okay. Well, we put being, or like, able to be questioned before accused.
Okay. Being able to be questioned for being accused. What else?
Being able to stand for your own rights.
Being able to stand for your own rights. So, like being able to advocate for yourself or in this situation. Okay, what else?
The right to defend yourself no matter the gender.
Right to defend yourself no matter your gender. This group also had some dress code requirements in their constitution. They want the dress code to be enforced fairly. Okay. How about this group? What did your constitution do to protect this person's rights? And I'll just put the microphone in your face.
We have like the right to attorney and no cruel and unusual punishment. So since Alice didn't actually do anything and she was just being it's okay. And since like she didn't actually do anything, she can't get punished for it.
Okay, so they have a right to an attorney, a right to make a phone call,
And the rights to know your and the rights to know your rights.
and the right to know your rights. So, the right to be advised of your rights, and we do that in court all the time. We go over people's rights with them, especially in criminal cases. So, in like a normal scenario, you would not be arrested by a Terminator. There would be probable cause, and you'd be advised of the charges against you. You'd be advised of your legal rights, and you would also be, one of the things that we didn't hear from either group on is you'd potentially have a right to be admitted to bail. So like Alice is just in there and she doesn't actually even know how to go about getting released. So how about this group? You want to read your scenario for us?
Gary is a student at Polaris Middle School. He started a school newspaper to report about school events, the newest computer games, interesting websites, and local news. His first issue includes an article that is critical for some of the school policies. Before the first issue even comes out, the principal tells him that the school newspapers are not allowed, and that all copies of the newspaper will be burned if he puts them out for distribution.
Okay, so school newspaper, critical of the administration. Principal says, no deal, we're burning all the newspapers, they cannot be distributed. I think the principal's here right now, so, or no. But tell us whether or not your constitution was effective in protecting the student's newspaper.
Due to the freedom of speech, they cannot legally burn the newspaper.
Yeah, so the freedom of speech was included in your Bill of Rights or your Constitution, and so that's something that would provide protection. Do you have something you want to add?
And the right to vote for either way to keep the newspaper or not to keep
Okay,
the
so
newspaper.
to participate democratically, and so you could do, make decisions about leadership and also exercise your rights that way. Very good. So we actually have a newspaper person here. And so she knows all about the freedom of the press, which is, I mention that because in our Bill of Rights, that's actually, we have freedom of speech, but we also have a separate clause in that same amendment that protects the right of the press. And that was actually something that was very important to the founders, because the founders wanted the press to be able to report, to be able to educate the public, to be able to inform the public about what the government was doing, because the power rests with the people, and the people have to be informed. So that's a critical part of our Bill of Rights. Okay, this group, what scenario did you have? Oh, this is a good one. This one's very fraught.
Steve works at the Intergalactic Art Museum with Carl, the son of Space Colony's governor. Steve was accused of intentionally pulling a chair out from under Carl in a museum cafeteria, causing injury to Carl. Steve was tried for battery, a jury which found him not guilty. However, the governor was instructed the judge to call Steve into court every week to answer the same charge of battery until Steve's confession to the crime.
Okay, so Steve works at an art museum and he plays a little prank on someone and causes them to fall out from under a chair and he gets charged with battery. And he takes it to jury trial and he gets found not guilty. But then the Space Colony governor instructs the judge to make Steve come to court every week on the same charge that he's already been acquitted of until he confesses to the crime. So tell me about, and I know we had two separate constitutions at this table, so let's start with this side. Did your constitution do anything that would kind of prevent this scenario or address this scenario?
Innocent until proven guilty.
Okay, innocent until proven guilty. What else?
We have free health care for Carl.
Free health care for Carl, getting the chair pulled out from under him. That's good. Okay, how about you guys?
We have that you can't be charged with the same crime if you're already charged for it once, like the same exact.
Okay, so sort of like our Constitution, you all have a prohibition against double jeopardy, meaning once you've been charged with and acquitted of a crime, you can't be charged with the same thing and brought to trial again. Is that fair to say? Fair assessment? Did anybody else have that scenario? Anybody else have the Space Museum chair prank? What'd you guys come up with? Did your Constitution provide any protection?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about what happened. What does your Constitution have that helps Carl or helps Steve or helps neither of them?
We have freedom of speech, a right to an attorney, right to bear arms, needs a license for vehicles, right to express religions, need to be minimum of 14 years to have driving permit, and homeless get free food and water supply.
Okay, so for this scenario, what do you think is helpful in your Constitution?
It helps Steve not, like if he's homeless, get free stuff.
Well, but Steve, in this scenario, he's just getting tried for the same crime over and over again. So is there anything in your, and it's okay if there's not, because that's kind of the point of the exercise. Freedom of speech.
And then a right.
He has a right to an attorney. Those would both be relevant to this situation. So yeah. And as I mentioned, our Constitution would protect him against being tried for the same offense over and over again. So this group has the school newspaper scenario. Do you guys want to tell us, so this was the same as this table over here, do you want to tell us if your Constitution protected the students at Polaris Middle School?
I did because freedom of speech.
So you guys had a freedom of speech protection as well.
Yeah.
Did you have any freedom for the press?
No.
Okay, but yeah, the freedom of speech kind of was incorporated. How about you all? Did you have anything different in yours? Okay. All right. Who has a scenario that we haven't gone over yet? You ladies here?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Are you reading? Oh wait, this one.
Okay.
So, before she came to the space colony, Angel was a member of the Interplanetary Church of Pluto. When she comes to the space colony, however, she learns that the Plutonian Church has been outlawed, and the space colony government tells her she must join the Intergalactic Church of Venus.
Okay, so what did your Constitution do to protect her, if anything?
The freedom of speech and to have the right to not be forced to another church.
Okay, so you had something about freedom of speech, and then you had, and you have freedom of religion?
Yes.
Yeah, specifically. Okay, that's kind of perfect for that scenario. That's the exact protection that she needs. Did anybody else have that scenario? You guys? Did you come up with anything different?
No.
Did you have freedom of religion in your Constitution?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys were dead on. You
And an accountant or lawyer.
and a lawyer or an accountant? Did I hear you right?
Mhm.
You get an accountant and a lawyer?
Mhm.
Oh man, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, who has a scenario that we haven't got? I think the Todd scenario we haven't heard yet. I think we've got a couple groups that had the Todd scenario. So read to us about Todd.
Todd stole a piece of candy from a store. He is arrested and taken to jail where the police sergeant decides that the punishment will be to cut off Todd's right index finger.
Okay, so Todd stole a piece of candy from the store, and the police sergeant arrests him and decides that his punishment will be to have his right index finger cut off. What did your Constitution do to protect Todd?
Well, really don't cut off limbs because that's not really nice. And freedom of speech. And that's really it.
Did your Constitution have anything about what kinds of punishments can be imposed? Leo had one about not imposing cruel and unusual punishment. So good job, Leo.
Guys, I would like for you to leave your papers on the table. Hey, wait. Give her a big round of applause. Tell her thanks.
See you guys, you did a great job. Good job on your discussion. See you guys. Take care. Good job.